Well, good morning, everybody. It's Lisa Copeland. It's 15 Minutes of Fierce, and today is January 14th, Monday. And I have been on the road, which I know you guys know that. Got in very late last night. Janelle, good morning, and Michelle, and Natalie, and Anthony, and Melissa, and Laura. Oh my goodness, Nigel, it's so great to see everybody. But gosh, because of social media, I still feel like we stayed connected. Sandy, how are you? Gosh, I'm telling y'all, and those of you who follow me, and you watched my show from the road. Let's see, Wednesday morning we did it from Newport Beach. No, Thursday morning we did it from Newport Beach, where I was out there doing business, and then on to Phoenix to see Sharon Lechter to celebrate her fabulousness and her birthday. So that was Friday. Took the weekend off, but it's been unbelievable. Like my eyes are still watering. It's so funny. Craig, good morning, and Dina, good morning, and Sandy, and there's so much to tell y'all. And as I was sitting there laying in bed this morning, thinking about the show today and what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about tribe and legend. Those are just two words that really, really come to me. So this weekend, we literally converged from all over the country to celebrate Sharon Lechter. And I know all of you know who Sharon is because she's been on my show. I've talked about her immensely. She's somebody that I respect more than words can ever say. Her life, what she's done, how she has helped other people, her business acumen, being the top financial literacy expert in the world, but just how she helps people. So just think about this. So all of us converged, she calls them her Austin girls, but a bunch of us converged from around the country. Kendrick Shope, you guys have all met Kendrick before. Kendrick flew in from Bentonville, Arkansas. And can I just tell y'all, there is no easy way to get anywhere from Bentonville, Arkansas. There just isn't, because she has to fly into either Dallas she has to go somewhere to get somewhere to get somewhere. So, we had another friend, Lisa Beth, who was filming. She's a TV producer, marketing guru, whatever. She had literally gone from Orlando. She was working and filming a TV commercial into Atlanta, doing some more work from Atlanta into Phoenix to celebrate Sharon. I mean, people moved heaven and earth to get there, to support Sharon Lechter, to celebrate her. But, as I looked around the room of that party, can I just name drop, please? Just for a couple minutes, can I just name drop? Because again, they weren't there this wasn't a fancy fundraiser. This wasn't a who's who paparazzi event. It could have been. We were in the room with celebrities. It was unbelievable. But no, they were there to celebrate the birthday, not just of an icon, but of a friend. And that to me is so powerful. It doesn't matter that she sold 30 million books. It doesn't matter that she lives in this amazing home. None of that matters to them. They were there to celebrate their friend. But let me tell you some of the amazing people I got to meet. Well, so first of all, for all of you sales gurus out there, there were two men really who started the sales training world. And that was Mr. Zig Ziglar, which you guys have met Julie Ziglar, Zig's daughter, on my show. And of course, I think Zig Ziglar is the godfather of all professional development. And then there was Tom Hopkins. And I'm standing kind of in the back of the house, and I'm talking big house. I'm kind of standing in the back in the dining room, and I see coming in the front door. I'm like, there's Tom Hopkins. And I had the greatest conversation with him. He actually follows me on Facebook, which I was like, oh, wow, that was cool. And just having a great conversation with him and his beautiful wife, who is in the construction business. And I mean, I said, well, Mr. Hopkins, I said, I have used your training over the years to train thousands of salespeople in the automotive industry. And I really think back to the 80s. In fact, when I finally got home last night, my husband's like, I went to Tom Hopkins back in the 80s. I'm like, yeah, I think we all went to Tom Hopkins back in the 80s. And he said to me, well, I think it's about time. I'm going to retire. Kind of like the cowboy rides away. And I said, why would you retire? And he said, I think that, so much of my work is done. And it's been a grind. It's been hard, being on the road and speaking. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, you're preaching to the choir here. There's nothing easy about what we do. All of you out there that are on the road and you're speakers, and we have clients all over the country, and but it's what we do. No complaints. Love what I do. I'm very grateful I get to do it, but it's not easy. It looks glamorous, but it's not. And so anyways, so just talking to him, and I asked him, I said, so, and I called him Mr. Hopkins, and he's like, Lisa, please call me Tom. And I was like, okay, Tom. So we're like BFFs. And I said, tell me what you think about this whole new, what do I want to say? Group of people who claim to be these gurus who, between the Facebook Lives, myself included, all these, people who've come out with training programs. What are your thoughts behind that? And he said, some of them are really good. And a lot of times, it is time to pass the torch. And he goes, some of them are not good. Some of them are not good at all. And he said, but people are looking for people to follow. People want to be led. And he said, he goes, so I want you to realize what you do is important. Not that what you do matters, which is one of my favorite things to say, but what you do is important, and it's a great responsibility. And I was like, he was so fascinating. I just could have stayed there all night talking to him, but there was 100 other people in the room I was sure that he wanted to get to. But just so much wisdom from that man, so much wisdom. Throw me some hearts out there. If any of you guys have ever read any of his books, gone through his sales training, all of you in the automotive industry, I know you have. Probably in the real estate industry too. But throw up some hearts if any of you are familiar or have actually gone through or read any of Tom Hopkins's books. He's a best-selling author. I don't think he sold as many books as Sharon has, but he's a best-selling author for sure. I see some hearts going out there. But what a nice man, and his wife is absolutely lovely. Then Sharon comes over and she gets me, and she's like, Lisa, Bob Bondurant is here. Now, for those of you in the automotive industry, he is the founder. He was a race car driver, Bob and Pat Bondurant, I should say. And he was a race car driver, but he had the Bondurant driving school in Phoenix. It's the greatest, it's the most famous driving school in the world. And people come in from all over the world to learn how to drive race cars. And of course, they have trained many, many professional race car drivers. And talk about another legend. It was unbelievable. But to sit and talk to him and his beautiful wife, Pat, by the end of the night, we had an invitation to go to the Kentucky Derby. Unbelievable. But to be in a room of just living legends. They're legends. And they were there for no other reason. There was no cameras, no paparazzi, except for everyone Facebook posting. They were there to celebrate Sharon Lechter and what she has meant to them in their lives and in their careers. Mark Victor Hansen was there. The gentleman that wrote all the first chicken, or I guess he wrote all the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. He was there. The gentleman that founded Make-A-Wish Foundation. Great story there. He was a police officer, and I didn't actually meet him, but my daughter did, and he told my daughter how he started the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it was just a little boy that needed help getting his wish funded. It started out with one person. And now look what Make-A-Wish has done. Look what it has done to help children all over the world, some, that are in critical condition. So, I can go on and on. I would be name dropping at an embarrassing level if I kept going about who was in that room. But to have them all there, to have all these legends in one place, these celebrities all in one place, and they were just there to celebrate Sharon. They were just there because they loved her and they love her work and they love her heart and they love her soul. And, and then I think about myself, and, my daughter flew across the country too, so that she could come, and both of my kids call Sharon Miss Sharon. They love her dearly. She's just such a wonderful person. And all of our friends, Sharon's friends flew in from around the country, and, and all I could sit there and think about is I hope someday that I'm the kind of friend that people will fly around the country for. And of course, Sharon opened up her home to all of us. She wouldn't have it any other way. I said, Sharon, we'll go stay in hotels. She's like, absolutely not, my dear. And you'd have to know Sharon to know that's exactly how she did it. But what is your legacy? I just spent, let's see how many of our minutes. I just spent 10 minutes and 31 seconds talking about Sharon Lechter and tribe and legacy. And, isn't that part of being fierce? Isn't that part of, when Sharon wants to get something done, she can pick up the phone and get it done. But it's not because she yields her power. It's because she yields her influence. She's got a lot of power. Do not kid yourself. But it's because she does for other people. She does for others. So when she calls, they're all coming. Okay, my thing was not scrolling this morning. Janelle and Michelle and Max and John and Lindsay and Megan. Good morning. Megan was so sweet. Megan sent Sharon a wonderful book from across the country. It was just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. And Sharon and I spent some time talking about this show, and she gave me some suggestions, and I just, we all talk about, what it takes to be fierce in business, to get up and to hustle and to do all the things that we do. But I think we have to also slow down and celebrate, and celebrate our friends, celebrate with our friends. I mean, we went to, the last night, was it last night? Yeah, the last night we were there, we went to the Temptations and the Four Tops. Now, who would have thought a bunch of gals who, did, in the, who were 80s girls, right, would like the Four Tops and the Temptations. First of all, they were great. Second of all, we just laughed and we had fun, and the next morning, all I could think about, I was just like, I love doing life with people that value the time that we spend together, and that and that we value each other, that we're willing to get on an airplane and fly halfway across the country to celebrate. And, so all the stuff we talk about business, and tomorrow we will get back onto business, I promise. I just want to encourage everybody out there to spend time, to invest in your friends, to show up, all of us could have had a big excuse not to get to Phoenix, Arizona this weekend. We're all busy. I mean, like I said, I flew in from LA, LB flew in from Florida, Atlanta, Kendrick flew in from Bentonville, Arkansas, Melinda and Sherry flew in from Austin, all very, very busy people, but it was like, we were going to stop, be able to come together, be able to celebrate our friend. And I just, I don't think we talk enough about that, because we're all talking about how we need to hustle more. And hey, I'm famous for it. I'm always out telling y'all, you got to do more. You got to live it to the max. But I think there's just times you've also got to slow down and realize that the people in your life are so important. Anyways, it was such a great weekend for me. Tiffany and Melissa and Faye and Glenn and Crystal. Boy, we got a big tribe out here today. Tabby and Melissa Munch and Laura and Keith and Janelle and Adam. So, anyways, what is your tribe? Who are your people? Who are the people that will get on an airplane and fly halfway across the country to celebrate you? Those are the people you need to be hanging out with. I've been seeing just a bunch of like weird little petty things going on Facebook, kind of in the automotive community. You know what? Be done with all those people, ladies and gentlemen. Invest your time and your resources in the people that are willing to get on an airplane and fly halfway across the country to celebrate you. There are just so many people in life that just suck the air out of us. And I'll tell y'all, in the last year, my personal tribe has gotten really small. I mean, I've made it small. I have a lot of friends, just like I'm sure a lot of you do too. But I've got friends, and then I've got friends. And, and I've been super intentional. It was one of my New Year's resolutions in 2018 was to get my tribe much smaller. Then that way I could invest more in them from a time standpoint, from a resource standpoint, from just being able to have the bandwidth to be able to be with them. And so I just want to encourage you, guys and gals, to do that. Who is your tribe? Who are the people you love? Who are the people that you want to invest in? And the rest of them, I'm not saying get rid of people, just kind of push them to the side. They're out there. They're friends. That's good. You stay good with them. But who is that inner circle? And I want to encourage you out there. And then I want to invite you as we wrap up today, and I promise there's business lessons coming tomorrow because Sharon gave each of us a Napoleon Hill first edition book for Think and Grow Rich. And I'm going to be going through that today for some other work I'm doing for another company. I So tomorrow, that's what we're going to talk about, some of that stuff. But today, I want you to think about who is your tribe. I want to invite you to what I think is the greatest tribe in the world when it comes to business and it comes to sales. And that's the Big Sellers Mastermind. I know a lot of you are already in there, but if you want somebody else to be successful in 2019, if somebody in that inner circle in your tribe is not a member of our Big Sellers Mastermind group, go ahead and tag them in this post. Tag them in the post. Tell them, tag Big Sellers Mastermind and invite them to our group. More than ever, even after this weekend, all I could think about is, what would I do without my tribe? What would I do without my people? My people that know me. They love me in the good times. They love me in the bad times. They just love me, period. They're my friends. They hold me accountable. We laugh together. We cry together. We do life together. And who is your tribe? Who's your work tribe? And who is your personal tribe? Okay, so that's that for today. Thank you guys so much. You're my tribe. You are my morning tribe. And I'm so grateful for every single one of you that get up every morning and you share that time with me. And what I hope is that what I bring to the table, that I'm investing in you and just sharing with you different things that I experience on the road. Because I'm going to tell y'all, life on the road is way different than doing life not on the road. I've learned that in the last 3 years. I never had a job where I was on the road until 3 years ago. I wouldn't trade it for anything, and the people I get to meet and the places I get to go, but it's a different life. So anyways, Keith says he's sorry he's late. Hey, Keith, there's always the replay. You can go back and watch it. And so for those of you out there that if you're catching this show on the replay, type in replay so I know that you're catching it on the replay. But today my message is, it's a message of finding your tribe, finding your people, investing in them, getting on an airplane and flying halfway across the country if they need you to. Keep it small, keep it intimate. And don't you leave our tribe, though, because you're an amazing tribe, and I'm forever grateful for every single one of you, like I said earlier. So it's 7:02. I'm a respecter of time. I'm going to jump off, but I will see all of you tomorrow morning and on 15 Minutes of Fierce. So you guys go out and have a rockin' day. Invite someone to join Big Sellers Mastermind. I promise you it'll change their perspective on the sales industry forever. All right, you guys, be fierce. Bye-bye.